maybe we're all our own multiverse, like maybe, there's a universe within each of us. And maybe the thing is it's like your timeline is what you, like decide and believe and create yourself. So I think like I've been trying to play around with that a lot lately, kind of like instead of, I still am, involved in knowing like what's going on in the world. And I still like have a job and I'm in the real world and I live in a city and all that crap and stuff. But at the same time, I like to think about, really like to focus on what I want to happen, what I would like to happen. Like, and I envision a world of not an ice age and not a water world, but like, something with like really just how she has been, but like with nice seasons that are I don't know. I just imagine everything how idyllic. I want Fern Gully, man. Like I want like kind of beautiful,
like the Garden of Eden.
The Garden of Eden, yeah. So I'm always trying to like put that out there, just because it's like if your thought form can create, then maybe I can create something better than like the. Here's the other thing that's been really ticking me off or whatever, as unconscious as that is to be, is the whole metaverse thing, like the Facebook changing to Meta, and this whole like literally copying or acting as if Ready Player One is a reality that we should all strive for one day, where you live online and you create your own little persona avatar and like just be online. The last thing we need is a reason to be online and disconnected from our physicality even more. It's just like, I don't know. I'm not buying it. I do know I had this conversation with a relative who's very close to me, who was like, well, why, if you could upload your consciousness to a computer and like live an idyllic life exactly with everything you want, like why wouldn't you? Like that's amazing, and you could like live forever in this whole thing. And I'm just going like, that's first of all like this whole like they called it junk DNA. Like they decoded DNA, they called it junk DNA, all this stuff. You think we're done in the world of exploring on what this is that we're in? No. And the other thing is like, you think that they're able to, whoever they are, you think they're able to upload your consciousness? Like you think you could take your consciousness out of this physicality and do like, you maybe could have something that could replicate your personality traits and or memorize like to some extent some experiences that you had. But if you think that these people can, go ahead, have fun trying that one. I think that's a certain death for a long time. But then not only that, like that is not what you signed up for as a human being incarnated, to just like bypass stuff and just go into becoming literally in the Matrix. I don't see how, but it's weird. We do have a split in consciousnesses. Like this person who is a very close relative to me literally sees that as just the best thing in the world. And then I see that as hell. I know that if I'm having like a dark wave of an emotion come over me, or like I'm really down about the state of the world or personal stress or whatever, like I now know that it's, instead of fighting the wave, it's best to swim with the wave, right? Like instead of trying to stand and like let it break you, like dive into it and go with it. It's like feel all the feels as you're feeling them, and they will process themselves. Like if you go through a dark night of the soul, which I go through those, tend to every once in a while, and they're just like, just despair. I feel like what I've learned is like, if you just accept and allow it and just realize that that's part of you and that's part of being human, and that it is okay to feel these kinds of ways, you can kind of and you don't even have to change them, or they're just as valid as any other feeling.
Right.
But and they're not bad to feel that way. However, I don't prefer to be in those that much. Yeah. So I feel like for me, what I've noticed is they tend to go away more if you acknowledge them, sit with them as they come, instead of trying to repress them.